Hello, this is going to be a bit of a complex video and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to completely tell you how these things work, but it's info data. Info data in itself is a very abstract structure and it consists of various parts which include heads, movement items, weapons, arms, as well as the unit itself. And it has a lot of other scripts attached to it. Let's start with the basic, which is arms. So, first of all, the units themselves would be combined and attached different types of parts to it. For example, you could select a unit body type, then you can select a weapon type. For example, a melee sword. All melee swords use one type of arm, but if you select a ranged weapon, then you will load a ranged arm. Same goes with heavy arms, and heavy arms are another beast because it has basic arm as well as claw type arm. These are the arms that existed. Now the parts are quite where the info data, abstract info data works. So you will be able to see that a lot of the data itself has the same values, but not all values are the same. So for example, we can select head. So name, description, the basic information token for player inventory, data. This was never finished, so there's not actual data to be had, but you can imagine that we want to showcase, for example, a 3D model of a weapon in the inventory, but we want to load the weapon with an arm while loading the game. Item body, skeleton. Container is just information to find this item in the container. Most of the items not use this thing, but it's good to have. Status is quite complex. I'll showcase it a bit later down this video. And actions are pretty much what actions does this item give. It's another system. Sadly, also wasn't finished during the late parts of the. So these are the heads. Each head have different values. Same goes with movement. For example, movement has everything the same except it has float height as well as other pivots. Because ball move, info, jet, all these movement types worked differently and it required different type of information so that it would look quite well. Heavy autoguns had pretty much all the same things, so you can pretty much, that's everything it is for heavy. Same goes for melee, range, support. Units are quite complex, so it had a skeleton, it had containers just as everything else, but also it had unit default parts. This was to make sure that if, for example, server loaded and client loaded and the server sends wrong request to a client, or a client sends wrong request to a server, or a server connecting with the server requesting a load of an item from that said server. For example, requesting an item that doesn't exist, so that there it would be a problem if the item didn't exist and errors. So there were error checks, and in case of that kind of mistake, we would have some base information that we could load instead of the error information. So this pretty much says load the basic data. And of course the unit has a collider, which is here. Now, how does status work? Well, it's pretty basic. This is only data. There is a behavior script that actually handles all the calculations, for example, current health and all that, but this is just the attributes that are loaded and the health that the item has. This showcases how many attributes will be. This is item rarity, for example, basic rarity, common, uncommon, rare. So this is how much total amount of attributes will this item have, and this is the totals for those attributes themselves. You can change the values however you wish. Also, the ranges are saved in a read-only constant data script, so those can be modified as well, but these are the basics. So also this status contains unit tests. I didn't have much time to do unit tests for everything, but this was pretty basic and pretty simple to do it. So as you can see, these are how values change, and these are logic overloads. For example, we want once it's greater or equal than 1 rarity, it sets the value by that amount. And all the information is here. You can change the logic behind it. So that's pretty much it. And well, you can see rocket skeleton model is separate things, because you can have a rocket, for example, a skeleton that we want to test separately, as well as model which can have different type of skin. And not only the skin can change as in material, but also the model itself. So everything was designed to be as separate as possible. Oh, unit tokens also units had, because initiative system GUI elements would need something to showcase. And everything is pretty much explained. So that's everything within the data. Now I'll be showcasing other elements of the game. Note that I'm not gonna showcase the game itself that much. Thank you for watching.